Hey guys, it's Jade from Boho Bookworm. I'm just on my way to Coles. While I do my June TBR today, I'm going to be cooking a pan-seared pork chop, and I'm going to be giving you the recipe in the description box down below, so go check it out. I hope you enjoy. This is my attempt at doing a Boho Bookworm style video with incorporating food. I love food. I used to be a cook on the yachts, so I kind of hope that you can trust me when it comes to cooking, and I'm going to be telling you what I'm going to be reading throughout the month of June. It is my no makeup day. Last night Mark and I went to the ballet in Brisbane. It was absolutely beautiful. We saw Carmen and the Firebird. It's perfection. It was such a stunning evening. That said, I just didn't feel like dressing up today, so this is how your girl's gonna look for the day. I do actually really like my outfit though. I really like these checkered shirts, and I've got my little waist belt on, my hair's in a messy bun, and some tights and some boots. So I'm pretty stoked with my outfit. There you go. So, following Gordon Ramsay, one of my favourite chefs, he suggests that you take pork out of the fridge for at least 5 minutes before cooking it, because it gets it up to room temperature and that stops it from getting dry. This gives me time to be able to pour a glass of wine and talk to you about a book that I'm planning on reading in June. The first book that I plan on picking up in June is an audiobook called A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. It's the first Paul Tremblay book I've read, and also one of the first horror books I'm going to be reading. I've just finished The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, which was enjoyable, but Scary Movie, the comedy old movie, really ruined it for me because it ripped off every scary moment in that book. So, going into this book, A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, I am really hoping that I can take it a little bit more seriously. This is also a psychological thriller, and psychological horror, and I love psychological thrillers, so I feel like perhaps this one is going to be a little bit more up my street. While I tell you a little bit about this book, I am going to be seasoning my pork chops in salt, pepper, and a little bit of dried chili flakes. This book is about the Barretts, who are a normal suburban New England family. Their home turns into this house of horrors when their 14-year-old daughter called Marjorie starts getting acute symptoms of schizophrenia. The doctors are unable to help the family, so they decide to go to a local priest who suggests an exorcism. Because the family is so stuck financially, they decide to accept an offer with a production company who basically want to film The Exorcist. This whole ordeal becomes a massive hit TV show, and it becomes an urban legend. I love chili flakes. 15 years later, a best-selling author interviews Marjorie's younger sister, and this starts to bring back really painful memories. It raises really vexing questions like, was her memory real? What was reality? What wasn't? And brings up things like faith and religion and science. It sounds fantastic. It's only an 8-hour long audiobook, so I'll probably smash it out in one day at work. Very, very excited for it, and I look forward to diving a little bit more into the horror genre and hopefully just enjoying a horror a little bit more, maybe getting a little bit more spooked out by one rather than The Exorcist, which unfortunately, like I said, it was honestly just ruined. I still gave it a pretty good rating because I did feel like William Peter Blatty's writing was so good, and honestly, if it wasn't for Scary Movie, I would have probably been a bit more freaked out and scared, but overall, that's how I feel about it. The next book I plan on picking up on Audible throughout the month is Miss Subways by David Duchovny, and this book I actually heard about through Erica from The Perks of Books. We are both massive David Duchovny fans, and if you don't know who he is, then I judge you completely. Just X-Files, or my preferred one, Californication, one of the sexiest men alive. But anyway, he is actually a fantastic writer. He wrote one of my favourite books of last year called Holy Cow. I need to start sprinkling some chilies onto this, otherwise my meat's never going to get seasoned. And I was just, honestly, I was so surprised by his writing capabilities. He's actually absolutely fantastic. So, this Miss Subway's book is he does like quite strange stories. Like Holy Cow is about a cow that finds out that that people eat cows. So she decides to run away and goes on this journey to find a place where cows are sacred. And yeah, well, you know, it's kind of got that fantasy element. And this book is no different. This is apparently a fantasy supernatural love story set in New York. This girl really wants to be a writer, and she lives with her boyfriend, and she starts to ask herself, is this really all life has going for her? I mean, who has not asked himself that, let's be honest. Yum. Apparently this is just a really trippy journey down the parallel tracks of time and love. It's written by Duchovny. I'm gonna read it. Mark just got back from his run and he had some post, and it was a parcel for me, and it was a late birthday present, and it's so cute. It's a watch that has us kissing on it, and you can't see it properly, but I love it. That was us in Canada when we fell in love.
Oh.
I'm about to make some pork chops.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah. So now that Mark's in the shower and I have my sexy new kissy watch, I am going to chop some broccoli up so that we can have some broccoli with our pork chops. And while I cook broccoli, while I chop and cook, I like to watch something on television. So I'm going to be watching some Bachelorette, the Australian version. Normally I do watch like MasterChef or something a bit more cooking inspiring, but today I just feel like Bachelorette. It's quite a romantic day, isn't it? Alright, so now I am putting these on to some boiling water on a pot. So I just put this over it and let it steam because I like doing that with my broccoli. Okay, so now we're going to put about a teaspoon of olive oil into the pan, and we're going to cook these chops for about 90 seconds on each side, which gives me enough time to talk to you about another book. So the next book I'm going to be reading is one that I cannot believe I haven't read yet. I love psychological thrillers, as you know, so for me to have not read Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris is insane. I just don't know why, just haven't done it. It's quite an iconic psychological thriller, so here we go. I'm excited. I'm going to be listening to it on Audible. This is about a seemingly perfect guy called Jack. He's got the looks, he's got the wealth, and he's married to this girl called Grace, but you don't often see them, they're never apart, so you don't really get to know Grace, who she really is. So one night they host a dinner party, and then the next week her friends want to reciprocate and host one the following week, but she knows as much as she wants to go, she never will go. When her friends phone her, she never answers, and there's bars on one of the windows in their house. And so the question is asked, is this the perfect marriage or the perfect lie? I've heard great things about this book, not so much great things about the author's newest book called Bring Me Back or something. I've heard that one's actually kind of bad, but I am excited for this one. The next book that I'm going to be hopefully picking up, throughout the month of June is Adjustment Day by Palahniuk. Really bloody difficult with plastic. Chuck Palahniuk wrote Fight Club. Adrian and Dalton are hosting this readathon with his new book that's just been released. It's Chuck's first book in about 4 years, so it's pretty exciting for fans of Fight Club. This is a book about people who pass the word only to those that they trust the most. Adjustment Day is coming, and they are ready for the reckoning. This is basically a satire of the American world, socio-economic and political. I've also heard it's dystopian and darkly funny, so to be honest, it doesn't really sound like something I would ever normally pick up or enjoy, but I have decided to give it a go because it's strip cover lit and I do want to get more involved in the community and start to read along and get more buddy reads in for this year. Alright, so now we're going to baste our chops, now that they're coloured, with some knobs of butter. Now I don't really know what else I'm going to be reading throughout the month of June. I do want to keep it open because I have a couple of credits to use. Stop it, I'm busy filming! Okay, Come here, or are you naked?
I'm naked.
Ah, don't come out here.
I'm coming.
Oh yay! This is going to turn into a porno. So once the butter is in the pan, then you just need to cook it for 3 minutes on each side. So, I don't really know what other books to get on Audible just yet. I might decide to get the audiobook for Girls Burn Brighter by Shobha, which is quite a feminist book, I believe. Mark, if you have a look at this book, what would you say it's about? And talk loudly because I won't be able to hear you over the sizzle. What do you think?
Feminist shit.
What? He said feminist shit. He doesn't like feminism. Oh, I'm gonna get so many unfollowers for that one. Fucking plastic spatula is a piece of shit. Ow! Ow! Oil and butter. Oh!
What's going on?
Nothing.
What is all this bloody ruckus?
I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I probably put your shoes, where they're supposed to be, on the shoe rack.
Here.
No, they're not meant to be.
In the way.
No, they're not meant to be on the floor in the way. Okay, I give up on the tripod because it's a piece of shit. So, this book is feminist shit, as Mark said, but it's not shit. It's about two girls who are born into poverty and they have a really unbreakable bond. When this really cruel act happens, sending one of the girls away, the other one decides to leave everything behind to go and find her. It alternates between both of their points of views, and Mark's
bloody
bad.
flip-flops are outside.
I'm never going to be able to film a fucking video! I'm sending Mark out on his Harley so that I can finish filming my video.
Not even allowed my own home.
I love you. It's not like you're going to complain that you get to go and ride.
It's alright, I got the X-Bars to protect me.
I was just talking about David Duchovny. Look at his face. I said Mark can keep this on in the bedroom because then I can look at David Duchovny's face.
That made me feel really special.
I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will start talking about the books as soon as he's left me in peace. This is apparently a really powerful story going into the underworld of India, and it sounds hectic, so I'm pretty excited to read it. So now I just need to chop up some garlic and onion to go into the pan which cooked my pork chop, because I'm going to put that in and then just cook that a little bit and then add in some chicken stock and some cream and make like a really nice yummy sauce to coat the pork chops in. So I'm going to go and cut an onion, so if it looks like I'm crying from a funeral in a few minutes time, that's why. But just before I do, just because Mark's now gone, so I should probably talk about a book, and my stupid little cheapy tripod will not balance. It just can't handle the weight of my phone. Another book I am quite excited to pick up this month. I'm not going to choose too many physical books because I haven't been finding the time to read physical books a lot lately, so I'm only choosing 1 or 2 physical books for June. But one that I would definitely like to get to is Don't Believe It by Charlie Donlea, and it sounds fantastic. It was published this month. This book is about this true crime TV show, and this girl called Grace has been in jail for the past 10 years serving a sentence for murdering her boyfriend, but now she's reaching out to the filmmaker in the hopes that she can get her case reopened and looked at, because she is saying that she didn't murder her boyfriend, and it's this massive shocking miscarriage of justice. As the show airs, it becomes really popular, but the filmmaker starts to realize that perhaps this investigation into this girl's crime could potentially be life-threatening. So is it really worth it? And it sounds brilliant. I've also seen a couple of people on Instagram lately. Don't know if you can hear that rumble. That's Mark on his Harley downstairs growling. I've heard a lot of people on Instagram talking about it, saying how brilliant it is. So I am excited to pick this one up. Lastly, we might be going to the Gold Coast in June, so that will be nice just to get out of Brisbane a little bit. And when I like to travel and go camping and stuff, I always love my thrillers, but I might decide to pick up a little something different, and that is The Upside of Over by J.D. Barrett. This is about a woman who's always had it all, the perfect job, the perfect husband, just the perfect life. And then she turns 45 and she does not expect when her husband leaves her. She's left to wonder who she really is, she's really humiliated, but then something absolutely amazing happens, and through all this horrible stuff that happens to her, she really finds herself, and for the first time it feels like this could be her true self and not the self that she's always portrayed herself to be, that fake perfection. And it sounds really uplifting and enjoyable, so I am pretty excited about this. It's a little bit different from my normal type of read, but yeah. Right, so now I am just making my sauce for the pork chops. So this is just garlic and onion in the pan that cooked the chops. And just be very careful here not to burn your garlic because it leaves it very bitter. Just like cook it a little bit, and then you're gonna add in some chicken stock, which I'm just gonna do right now. Pour that in and let that come to a boil. Right, so now your cream is in and you brought that to a boil, so you're gonna get about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard and a teaspoon of whole grain mustard, and you're going to plop that into the sauce. Alright, so that's all bubbling away. It looks delicious. Smells amazing too. It's super mustardy. And now I'm going to put my pork chops back into the pan to just on a low heat in the sauce, so that it just rests in the sauce and just cooks through for a few minutes. Alright, so I'm literally just going to leave it like this for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it over and let it coat the other side for another 2 minutes. So 4 minutes in total, and then it's done to serve with my delicious broccoli. Just a very nice simple meal, not overly filling, but healthy and lovely. Well, besides the cream, you know, whatever. Mark just got back from his Harley ride. He's very happy. Was it good?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
He's gonna do the taste test. Do the taste test. Tell me what you think. It doesn't look very appetizing, but that doesn't matter as long as it tastes good. How is it?
You've got to put it in your bloody mouth first. Ooh, a bit of seeded whole grain mustard in there.
Oh. What do you think?
Pretty bloody good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. So sorry that that was a bit disorganized with regards to not having the correct setup. I was a bit all over the place and my tripod wasn't playing nicely with me and Mark kept coming in, but I hope you enjoyed it. This is just one of the many recipes I want to bring to you. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more of this kind of stuff from me. I would also love to get your recommendations on other audiobooks I could read this month, because like I said, I've got about 6 audiobooks I can get on Audible at the moment, so I'm open to suggestions as long as they're in a genre that I enjoy. I really do prefer books that are thriller, mystery, crime, and now apparently some horror too, so let me know. And furthermore, I am also really up to buddy read with people, so if there's a book in the genres that I enjoy that you guys are interested in maybe buddy reading, I'd love to buddy read with people and just get more involved in the community and stuff, so let me know what you think about that. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon and have a good day. Bye!